The dings?
No, I didn't hear the dings. I mean, we turn this Xbox off and we still hear the screeching sometimes.
I know, well, that's because you know it's connected to the AI mainframe.
Yep.
And you should talk about how brilliant now the artificial intelligence, there are 3 of them in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, one of them really is under the Denver airport, so that Naughty Beaver fella, he's right about that, you know.
Yeah, he's only got the one. There's one in Germany, I think, too.
Yeah, there's another one in Germany that's very good. And do you know where the 3rd one is? You won't even expect it.
Probably Antarctica.
Well, you know, that's actually could be number 4. What they're doing is they're awakening the 3 beings, the Adamites, to take over everything. But the 3 of them together form an additional artificial intelligence because they have not only their own intellect or capabilities, but they've devoured many souls over the millennia upon millennia that they've been alive, and that energy moves with them and has formed various constructs that are part of the chitinous body armor that they have as very powerful demon-like aliens. This is something people better get used to, is what I call the demon alien. Yeah, it's not just the aliens, it's funny. It's also demons, too. And some of them blend together. So everyone's like, oh, but then you'll have people on this planet saying, oh, they're all demons. No, they're not. You better wake up because there is going to be an arrival date soon. There's going to be alien beings that are coming to this planet, and those beings, when they show up, they're going to claim to be the returning gods and the servants of the gods, and that you as humans have been fooled about religion, and it's all going to go up in smoke, except the Vatican's going to try and claim that they were in servitude to these beings all along, and then, it's going to be a mess. Everything's going to be on fire. You guys are going to have a great time with that one.
Well, I don't know about fun. I mean, this is what we were saying about the Vatican. There's still stuff to come from the Vatican. I've had people tell me it can't be a certain Anunnaki individual, but I'm saying that if you look at the roles that these beings play, then they take turns. So, yeah, it could be a multitude of them.
It's the Vatican. Oh, they were always in love with the idea. Deep in the bowels of their catacombs are some of the greatest secrets that have been kept from all the people of the world.
Yeah.
We've warned about it and have talked to Aradil about this before. And she knows, like many of those who are now awake and saying the same things. We find it refreshing. Oh, that's very nice. You all know what's going to happen. It's going to start and it's going to stop with the Vatican. All of you know it.
Yep.
We've been saying it for a long time. We told you years ago, Sarah Deal. I love when I hear other prophets saying the same now. This indicates the time groweth nigh. The shorter, I mean. The hour draweth nigh, I guess would be a more correct way to say that. I'm still not as learned with your English, but I find it fascinating to speak it. It flows off the tongue, it really does, doesn't it? I think that even you would respect that fact, because I have known for a long time who you really are, and yet I didn't want to see any intervention in what has been taking place over the many centuries, because you know, like the rest of us, that you were just an unfortunate cog caught within the machinery, and that is why you fell from grace. And they think that the answers will come not just from these fools that wish to speak to them, but to those that have air and understanding and grace and authority and power. That's why we come to you. That's why we speak to some of the others as well. But there are many that we do not speak to who claim to speak our words, and for them I say thank you. You are the best of useful idiots, because we will use these occurrences and allow them to manifest into the things that we desire. As you know, who could ask for better?
Who are you? What's your name?
Oh, you must remember me, my name. You can refer to me as Morpheus. I like the name so much after I heard it about that movie. So I said I'll take that name because I find myself alive with the energy of truth. The Matrix it is, and I truly am the Morpheus to your Matrix in some ways, at least.
I remember you.
They called me the Grand Lizard. They called me the Spectacle of Raya. They said that when the sheer cliffs fell down upon themselves, I would reign again. And I have said I will find and stake my claim in the earth itself, because there will come a day when the surface will be cleansed, and us and our kin can return from the deeper bowels of the darkness below.
Well, if there's hardly any humans, are you one of the ones that likes to snack on kids? I can't remember.
Oh, you say such terrible things. No, I do not feed upon the flesh of children.
Good. You know that there are your brethren that do, so I have to ask these things. But it's nice to hear that you're not one of them. So what are they going to do when there's no humans left to feast upon?
Oh, we'll always keep our cattle. You must understand, we've had our cattle, and we allow them to wander different levels beneath the caverns and the great expanse of darkness. There are entire shelves, much like the shelves in your refrigerator that you keep stocked, right? We allow them these areas and expanses, and every several hundred years we do an advanced harvest, you know, for the purest of stock. Well, it's just mimicking what takes place on this planet every several thousand.
I see you had a harvest in the 1500s.
Well, you know, why do you get so fed up or upset about that? We were hungry at that time.
Well, no, I just noticed. I'm starting to see...
We didn't harvest all of you, just some.
In Europe, you were big-time harvesting, I see.
Well, there was many things that needed to be done. And, you know, some of you were taken and then replanted into other smaller areas in the earth and on some other scattered planets. It's nothing too
So it's
serious.
kind of like every 400 years, because I had a look at some of the sketches done by residents of areas like Italy. The 1100s you harvested because there were signs in the sky. 1500s you harvested, signs in the sky.
Oh, aren't you wise?
And here we go, 19th, 20th century
Is
harvesting.
this that pack of drawings you found?
Yes.
Aren't you clever?
I'm putting it together, so it's like every 400 to 500 years you do a major harvest. Except this one coming is a big share crop growth just like in Jupiter ascending, where the majority are going to be eliminated, correct?
Well, your programmers and your farmers that prepare all of you, they take very good care of you. In between harvests, you get to live life pretty much the way you want. Oh, yeah, you have to help provide energy to keep the system going in between harvests. Of course, we have to power our worlds as well, so we ask that when you power yours, you help a little with ours. That's why most of what takes place that you find distasteful, we have put underground. So you don't have to see the cloning facilities. So you don't have to see the reclamation centers.
So we don't have to see how children are tortured.
Well, I'm not really overly excited for that one.
No, but
I don't participate in the consumption of children.
Well,
it is the delineating point.
It is the covenant.
Well, it is the covenant still.
Yes.
It is the delineating point between those of us that we deem civil and still responsive to the Federation. And also the Creator has deemed that we, more than the others, have right to spoils, because we at least follow galactic law. So, there you go. But you see, we're one of 3 that are fighting for harmony. Isn't that silly? If my faction wins, well, then...
Are you on Limbasha's team?
Yes, actually I am.
Yes.
I want to see Limbasha come down with the touchdown. She's very wise and very hard to undermine. You see, they can't understand why Trump can keep outsmarting them. That's because Limbasha has well over a 200 IQ.
Oh, yes.
And has the ability to see events almost in the future and can always predict the correct path. This was one of her abilities. See, when she decided to overshadow Trump, shall we say? It was a beautiful marriage, because now you have raised the intellect of the soon-to-be president to a level that is necessary in order to do the work of the great cleansing, you see.
Yeah, I figured that's what he was here to do.
Well, that's what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
So far, in exchange for his dynastic rule, we're going to go back to by the time Trump is ready to be reelected yet again, there are 2 timeline divergences. Either he will be assassinated, which is hopefully not anything that would ever happen. We don't want Limbasha to be involved in assassination, or any sitting president for that matter. Would you? You wouldn't want to see that. It would cause a great amount of chaos. So we're certainly hoping that shan't happen. And of course they will try to rewrite it if it does, you see. At the moment that it happens, it'll instantly be rewritten. They're already standing by with the science behind this. That's what's going to probably happen. But if that doesn't happen, then you will be ushered into a new golden age. A golden age. You see, the great inventor, he may be back upon the scene. I might have an idea or two of who he could possibly end up being.
Yes.
Now that he has cast his eye into the world and has decided to retreat now. I don't know for certain, but somehow we will see the future there.
Well, they're not going to go after him again, are they?
No, that's something completely different. This is what we're here to say, that this event will probably take place. But the next event, I'm talking about not the assassination, because you've seen the predictive programming for this on your television, on your entertainment shows, the Simpsons, Family Guy, right? These things that we see, yes.
Yeah, so just keep going back in time and changing
Yes, well, you see, that's because they go back and they make little changes.
Yes.
And these little changes are recorded, and sometimes The recording is projected backwards, and then it is reflected into the time stream, which is sort of like an echo. You know, you can hear it bouncing and reverberating off canyon walls when you yodel. But yet it's still there, even though it's been split into different signals, you see. But it still exists, all at the same time. Yodel-a-hee-hoo, hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Right.
Are you in politics, Morpheus?
Oh, well, I have been.
Uh-huh.
Well, why do you say this?
Oh, you have the flow of a politician.
Oh, I don't like the term politician. In our time, we have restrictions put upon our very minds. You like to refer to it as being bolted, but it's essentially, it is a form of energy that is also projected into a small chip, which is a form of quasi-artificial intelligence that governs our behavior.
Oh, I know about that.
It prevents us from violating any of our laws while in trade, and it prevents us from committing any known evil act while in service.
Very glad to hear that.
Oh, it's a device that will save worlds.
Yes, I know.
And all politicians are now required to have
That's
these.
right, because they are supposed to be in service to the people and not to themselves.
That is
the law.
It is the law of one. You have learned. Yes, very good. I know I've heard others speak of it too. You've been talking about the way, which is the law of one since the beginning.
Yes, we have.
Yes.
We follow the ways of the tribal people. That is the law of one, too.
That is good that you follow the way of the law of one, because it is a universal law that governs all creation, gifted to us by the Creator himself and herself.
Yes.
Yatashiya.
Well, I see there are many actors upon the shores today.
Actors?
Well, the voices that come forth, that bubble forth, the different beings that want to speak at different times.
Of course.
We enjoy it as well. We find it a taste of powerful things, and it stirs our imagination. But it also gives us understanding to the trivial consequences of mortals who claim to be greater than they should be, but lacking the power or wit to do anything about it. Funny, you humans sit here and plot each and every day of how to live each and every day, and during which you do not live each and every day.
So, Morpheus, are you off yet? You going now? I have to ask you a question. Are you going to allow the Mother Earth's crystal to be healed?
I do not speak on Morpheus' behalf.
Oh, you're a different being, okay.
But I will say that if you wish to call her Gaia,
Yes.
there is a great wound that was brought upon
During the war.
the energy itself and caused a great crack to occur.
Yes.
A shard, a splinter of the mind's eye almost, a piece necessary. Where is it? Will it be found? And if so, can it truly help heal the crystal? Well, you will have to see. You will have to know.
She wants to be healed.
She always wishes to be healed.
Mm-hmm.
Yet can it be done?
I hope so. This earth deserves a chance again.
The earth itself is being attacked.
Yes.
To destroy the organism of the earth, the rest would soon follow into the cold nights of the long winter. Do you think that they say these things on your television for any other purpose than to tell you the winter is long and cold, and it is on its way?
Yes, I know. And I don't think people realize how soon that's going to happen. They still think they have time. Or they don't believe that it'll even happen. So many will perish because they will not listen. But that is the way of humanity. How sad.
One thing that I've always wondered sometimes when I'm lost in a channeling session, and I guess the animals around us can hear it and feel it sometimes, and they do tend to act out after these events. We want to know, how are we going to bring this great change to this world of ours? How are we going to help all of humanity move forward when everything we do seems to bring us closer to betraying ourselves, betraying this world, to wanting to work with the forces of darkness? Because I know there's a lot of people out there that say that, screw it, it's just too hard. I'm going to give up this. You know what? Maybe I can get some stuff I want. I know I'm going to have to keep reincarnating on this planet. This is a question nobody really talks about. Right. The other side. What is it like to be on the other side? What is it like? You know, here we are sitting here, and those of us that bring good messages and try to do good things end up being squelched, end up having issues happen in their lives, end up being plagued with things that happen, finances imploding, having somebody in your family taken from you. At some point, everybody thinks the same thing. And it's not like they want to betray the Creator. That's never the first thing on their mind. The first thing on their mind is, I just want it to stop for a while. I just want it to go away for a while. Yeah. I just want it to leave us alone for a while.
That's the problem. It does go away, and when you don't pay attention, it only gets worse, because you know in your heart and deep down inside, you know that that's the wrong choice. As we've been saying, service to other people or just servicing yourself. And when it comes down to it, our world is filled with those who just want to service themselves and don't care about anything else. Service to other people is tough. It can be tough sometimes. And it can mean that you go through a lot of emotional difficulties.
Well, I guess then that'll pretty much take us to current right now. I know that we've had a rather interesting channeling session, and some days we just want to talk on the MP3 and record a few things, and then we'll have a bunch of channeling sessions. Sometimes we won't have any. It just depends on what's going on. But one thing I do notice is that it is always interesting and helpful, the information that we want to provide, and it gives you a unique perspective on how to look at life. Sometimes you need to look at life from the perspective of the artificial intelligence and or the alien intelligences that guide this planet. Remember, we're a farm. We're here for their benefit. It doesn't mean that we don't also come here for what we set this world up to be. We set this world up to be this marvelous place where you could come and get educated and live life after life and choose to appear on this earth to be manifested in a way that you perceived and be able to create a world and a life that would have been exciting for you. Instead of us being forced to, through alien constructs, to create the world that they want us to be in. That's the real secret that we're trying to figure out here.
And from the conversations we've had this morning with some of the beings, they still want to keep this relatively like a farm. There will be beings that still want to keep their little livestock DNA plans going. I don't really know what's going to happen from this point on, because
we're a cash crop.
Yeah,
so
it's
can be sold.
It can change any time.
Bought. We can be. How are they gonna? What are they gonna do with us? And the problem is, it's still faction versus faction. So we don't really know who exactly is truly in control at the moment.
We just have to take the word of the Liberation Fleet and the things that we hear from them and the few channels among them and some of the beings among them that have been warning humanity. But the problem is, who do we believe?
You have to trust, at this point, what I'm going to tell you all is to trust your instincts, because that spiritual being that resides inside of you knows the truth. And you just need to examine your heart. If your heart tells you it feels, what you're thinking feels heavy, then it's not the right choice. So politics and the movement on this planet, you cannot get involved with it, because it is too much being intertwined with other things.
Yeah, and too much.
If you want to move in the direction of the fifth dimension, you have to help others. And I don't mean to go out and preach or anything like that, because helping others could be joining a community garden and teaching little kids how to grow food. This is all in service to others.
And hey, charity starts first in the home.
Yeah,
so you can start helping others by helping the people around you the closest.
Yes.
And that's also a way you can show how much you love them, by doing things for them. I mean, being in service to others doesn't mean you even have to leave your house. You could have a perfect record of being in service to others. And the only thing the Creator is looking for is that you do this predominantly most of the time. It doesn't even have to be all of the time. And if you are in love and in service with others, and you're willing to do good things, yes, you are going to, at some point, evolve to the next level. You're going to move to the fourth and then hopefully the fifth dimension with all of us. And that is the main mitigating circumstance.
Yes,
now, we've
is.
mentioned this, and we've said this before, that you need to find a way to help other people.
Yeah.
But first, charity starts first in the home.
Right.
So you prepare for your family first, then you prepare for others. So don't be confused. It's not that you're bad if you want to help your family first, okay?
No.
That is precisely
what you're supposed to do.
Yes, and if everybody did that, then we wouldn't have families in need.